Hidden in the mists of the High Elf legions, we have a Volkmar slain machine. I'm a Rubber Duck Award, but today I'm not going to be playing. Instead, on the left-hand side, we have Kolek Suneater up against a mighty Imperial General. I'll catch your name at the end there, buddy. I did miss it on the loading screen. But it's actually Phoenix King playing under the guise of Kolek Suneater today, bringing his favorite High Elf legions to the battlefield. So let's delve into this, because I think his build's actually pretty damn good up against the Empire, but in particular, his lord choice is a one-man wrecking ball to slaughter Volkmar the Grim, who is by far and away the most popular Empire choice. 99.9999999 times out of 10, so having 99 out of 10 is quite a big number. For the forces of the High Elves, we have Rangers guarding the flanks as well as Spearmen in the main battle line. Getting relatively cheap and cheerful, Rangers and Spearmen can do a decent job holding the line and dishing out a little bit of pain at the same time. In the central core to the build, we do have double archers, in fact with light armor, which is quite interesting. I always never get to see light armor actually being used. So interesting to see how these archers fare in today's battle. A couple of eagle claw bolt throws as well in the back, protected by some silver helms. These silver helms do have shields, and we have some white lines in the back for a little bit more punch, escorting another unit of spearmen. So pretty fun build all around, nothing too special. But then we get down to the meat of this build, and that is going to be in our glorious hero core here, riding in on some elegant elvish steeds, with a mage of light coming with a net as well as fast protection and the light of battle. What is this? I don't think I've ever seen the light of battle used in a serious sense since I started casting Total War Warhammer games. That is going to be really fun to see if it actually does get popped here today. We have Tyrion as well, coming in with Stand or Die, as well as his Feint ability and Sun Fang. So the reason I actually kind of bigging up Tyrion just a little bit here, he is the ultimate Volkmar slaying machine. Now, why is he the ultimate Volkmar slaying machine? Well, he is insanely quick, coming in at 95 speed. If he catches Volkmar, there's not much Volkmar can do to escape. Likewise, he's a fantastic duelist, one of the most underrated elvish lords in the entire game. But more importantly, he also comes in with a whopping 45% fire resistance, as well as that 15% missile resistance, which is quite useful, but the fire resistance should really help him out quite a bit up against Volkmar, who does do magic and fire damage. So Tyrion can catch him, the opponent can't really escape, and he can dish a massive amount of pain. Kind of interested to see if the Mage of Light has been brought with the Unbreakable ability to pop on Tyrion if the Heart of Avalon is going to be popped, not the Heart of Avalon, whatever his item's called. I want to call it the Heart of Avalon, but I feel like that might be something else. It is the Heart of Avalon. Damn you, Ducky, you should have trusted your instincts, because he often breaks while this is popping off, but if you can make him unbreakable, that would be really nice indeed. For the forces of the Empire, we do have demigryph knights of halberds. It looks like two of the bad boys there. If they can encircle Tyrion, they will absolutely beat the living snot out of him. We have a lone great cannon. Looks like the Empire can be giving up that cannon relatively early on. Not a bad idea. It's basically a dead cannon rolling with so many bolt throwers on the field. We have a load of spearmen as well, dotted through the front line, mixed in with the silver bullets, the regiment-renowned handgunners. Great swords in the central pocket for a little bit more punch, and some more spearmen as well as a jade wizard coming in with regrowth and a power stone. On the left-hand side, we have a third unit of demigryphs. My god, so many demigryphs on the battlefield today with 3 different units. And then we have Volkmar the Grim, who's currently being pinned in by a net of Amantok. He, of course, has a huge potential to heal up, so we'll have to wait and see if this does indeed pay off. We do get the lovely Grand Shield of Faith, giving that 20% damage resistance, but in comes Tyrion straight away, charging ahead of the rest of the battle line. A load of bolt shots has hit Volkmar, and he's really going to be taking quite a pounding now. We can see spearmen starting to push up. It'd be nice to steal the silver bullets, wheel around and unleash some shots into Tyrion, but Volkmar is getting absolutely dumpstered right now, down to half HP despite the Grand Shield of Faith. But in comes the one weakness of Tyrion, his low mass. He is not able to push through the spearmen, instead having to go for a bit more of a tactical retreat. And we're actually seeing a regrowth go down on Volkmar, which is insane. You normally never see that, but he's been forced to pop it nice and early here. Spearmen are charging into great swords. It looks like they are being escorted by the silver helms. Lance is lowered very elegantly and quite calmly. Just going to bump into the great swords there and say hello. We are getting a lovely Sun Fang to clear out a decent amount of chaff, doing massive damage to the spearmen. My god, the white lines are really going to carve through them quite quickly. And Tyrion is on the prowl. He's now hunting down that pesky little Jade Wizard, trying to slaughter him and really bring down the beast. Jade Wizard is broken instantly, but Tyrion, he doesn't have time for that. He wheels his steed around and goes straight after that Volkmar booty, who once again has been pinned in by the net of Amantok. Where are the demigryphs? Well, they're floating in the back, so it looks like they are going to be able to shut down both the bolt throwers and perhaps both the archers, but it's only only one unit doing that, so that will take them quite some time. Silver bullets are starting to fall back, and we do have demigryph knights dispatching silver helms with deft efficiency here. Volkmar the Grim is really struggling. Those bolt throws have been focusing him all day, so has Tyrion. He has the feint and stand your ground popped, and down Volkmar goes, slain underneath the blade of 1,000 deaths. Tyrion's Sunfang there claims yet another victim. Would he get a last-ditch banishment go down, though, on the archers just before he passed away, Volkmar? And unfortunately, much like his life, it kind of fizzles out there in the middle of nothingness. Now, one bolt throw has been shut down. Good play by the demigryphs. Does the Empire player have enough about him to drag himself back into this game? It's certainly at a disadvantage, but not over yet. Demigryphs hunting down the silver bullets, the silver helms there. And more demigryphs as well, trying to come back into the main fight. And in the main fight, things aren't going too bad here for the forces of the Empire, with the greatswords really cleaving their way through white lines. Jade Wizard has been able to return and pop a regrowth on the demigryphs, who have been pinned in by a net, but likewise they have surrounded the mage, trapping herself in her own schemes there, netting the enemy around her. Looks like she is indeed going to be going down. 1,000 HP though, she should be able to rally and come back. There is some spearmen close by for support, but in comes even more demigryphs. Definitely want to shut him down at this range core, although the bolt throws do seem to be quite beat up at the moment. How's the great cannon doing? Pretty great actually. It's still firing and hasn't been pressured whatsoever yet, up to a mighty 22 kills. Silver bullets though are being hunted and hounded by Tyrion, who's about to get a taste of his own medicine now. He does have spear support, but in come the halberds, twirling them around in arcs of death, trying to take the head from the shoulders of the mighty Tyrion. Bowseeker's popped, but he's really going to struggle up against such elite cavalry. The spearman support is nice, but they're not huge damage dealers here. And it does look like Tyrion has taken so much work now. Silver bullets are online. Unfortunately, not able to get on any key targets here, just shooting into the chaff in the middle. Great swords doing a fantastic job. Looks like they're going to get some demigryph support as well to break off these spearmen and perhaps get the demigryphs back into the action. The Jade Wizard doth live. Tyrion let him go earlier to go kill Volkmar. Those regrowths have been really nice coming down on the demigryph knights, and Tyrion is starting to struggle a little bit, but there is a 87-man unit of spearmen coming in. There is now some spearmen for the Empire as well, but the demigryphs aren't going to be enjoying this fight anywhere near as much as they did earlier on. Great swords doing a fantastic job, up to 110 kills. They're also pushing back onto the archers, starting to push through and take them down. Both bolt throwers have now been defeated by the mighty great cannon. That's some human engineering for you. One arch unit is 100% about to die, and a big cannon shot actually clips the Mage of Light magic there, doing some massive damage as he attempts to charge in. And the demigryphs, they really went for that kill on Tyrion, but he can be pretty tanky with his defensive buffs. He's doing a big, fat, juicy Sunfang down the line as well. It's going to clear out a bucket ton of spearmen. Look at the HP damage. Tyrion's been an absolute one-man wrecking ball today, and breaking off both the demigryphs is absolutely huge. But despite this, balance power is creeping more and more in favor of the Empire as the greatswords start to saturate in, archers get finished off, and a lot of the range potential for the High Elves has been dealt with. So the Mage of Light is running away. The silver bullets do need to rally, because 24 silver bullets can really light Tyrion's arse on fire quicker than misplacing Sunfang will. And it does look like the great swords doing a pretty decent job. We've got more demigryphs pounding in. Spearmen are starting to break and run for their lives, and the demigryphs are just bounding across the deserty plains, trying to hunt down Tyrion. Now, Tyrion is a very fast boyo, though. He is fleeing as fast as possible. He is one of the quickest Elvis steeds in the book, and it does look like the light archers might actually be able to take down the demigryphs, or at least break them and stop their hot pursuit of the mighty Tyrion. Now remember, he does have the Heart of Avalon, but can he get it popped without dying? That's certainly going to be quite tough. One more regrowth going down on the demigryphs would be rather lovely, maybe on the unit of 12 here. The unit of 21 has a decent HP, but it looks like Tyrion is risking it all. He's kind of leading some spearmen forward, once again trying to bait the demigryphs into that fight that they don't really want to take. Spearmen actually pull back as well, and Tyrion's now attempting to hold the line whilst the spear support does come and help out. Stand your ground's popped, but so is the Heart of Avalon, and Tyrion once more shall fight to the bitter death. Nearly catch up to his healing cap here. We do get a regrowth, I believe, go down. A regrowth on the demigryphs to try to keep them in that fight, but that Heart of Avalon is absolutely huge now. Spearmen disengage from the Great Cannon and come back in to help deal with the demigryphs. Great Cannon's doing some good work into archers, though some friendly fire as well. He probably just wants to shoot in after Tyrion, and hope that you get a grazing shot or something. The Spearmen are starting to struggle up against the elite demigryphs, who are really trying their hardest right now, but they are coated in the blood of both friend and foe, and that Jade Wizard needs to get out of there. If Tyrion sets his sights on him, he is a dead man walking. Now the demigryphs once again did some awesome damage to Tyrion. In fact, the Jade Wizard goes in to challenge the elf and instantly regrets that decision, which of course is not surprising, and gets broken and has to fall back. And all of a sudden the bounce power starts swinging heavily back towards the middle for the Elves, which is pretty good news for the Elvish forces. Now, we still have silver bullets. They can, of course, bring the pain to Tyrion, and the majority of the infantry for the Elves is absolutely done for. However, the Great Cannon has 0 protection, and the Great Swords will take a while to waddle back over. Likewise, we have some spearmen coming back to the fray. However, the demigryphs are back again. 13 models and 7. If we can get another regrowth, which we've seen quite a few today, I don't think there's going to be many left. That would be rather lovely here. Actually, a regrowth down the greatswords might even be a better play. The Great Cannon is going to get shut down. I would have dropped the cannon crew, or the cannon if I was the crewman, and started running to kite back the elves as quickly as possible. Silver bullets are laying on some pretty decent damage. Looks like they are focused down the rangers because they are the main pressure to them. Looks like they're going to be trying to charge in and beat them back. However, I think really killing Tyrion is the answer here. If Tyrion goes down, there's no Sunfangs. What's going to kill the greatswords? Not too much. Though we do actually have some ammunition left on these archers with light ammo. Only 3 kills on them, so they've probably been losing quite a few shots into elite targets. Long to Volkmar and the demigryphs, I would expect. Empire forces are really struggling just to get together. Silver bullets are able to beat back the rangers, which could prove absolutely pivotal here if they can continue to lay shots into Tyrion. And they are starting to try to focus him down now. In come the demigryphs. I think the demigryphs need to be very, very patient. They need to pull out now. Now that standard ground's being popped, get the hell out of there. You do not want to fight those spearmen right now. Allow the great swords to deal with the spearmen. Then you move the demigryphs in to kill Tyrion. But it might not matter. Tyrion is getting absolutely circle beat right now. Spearmen are coming into support, but the great swords are nearby, trying to decapitate him. Yet another well-placed Sunfangs about to come down, and that is bad news for these greatswords, who take some huge damage. Luckily, the very healthy unit does stay alive. Jade Wizard is really risking it all going after Tyrion like this, fighting alongside his demigryphs, but I suppose he's thinking, hey, if our general said if Volkmar's let us down, I need to step up and prove to the men that I can be an effective general. So with me once more into the breach, but it looks like he actually is going to fail there, and the Empire player decides to throw in the towel. Now you can see the demigryphs break and the great swords break, and more demigryphs are starting to shatter, and the silver bullets are about to be shut down. Still a healthy, great swords though. I do think an early concede from the Empire player probably was all over. Great swords most likely going to be killed off by the archers as well as Tyrion, but hey, it was a valiant effort nonetheless. Well played to both these champs, both to the mighty... Oh god, I'm going to butcher your name, I apologise here. Charace98 for leading the Empire forces, and Codex Sunita, aka the mighty Phoenix King, playing in disguise here, trying to mind kind of play his opponents. Yeah, I'm going to go Chaos, bam, High Elves instantly. Tyrion going to start slapping you, and Tyrion was an absolute shad. The Volkmar killing machine is what he's called on the mean streets of Ulthuan. 4,054 damage value, picking up the elves by the scruff of their neck, shoving them into his backpack, and carrying the game. 125 kills, nearly 20k damage dealt, 4,000 damage value. For all those who say Tyrion's a bad lord, he is really not a bad lord. Now, he is relatively hard to use, and it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Doesn't have the best mass, can get pinned in as well, but when he works, boy oh boy, does he go absolutely ham. Now we'll delve into the damage dealt, kills, damage value, and so forth of all these units. Particularly interested to see how those halberd wielding demigryph maniacs did. But before we get then, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up, subscribe as well for more Total War Warhammer content into the future, and comment down below what you thought of the battle. We're going to be doing a live stream here on YouTube as well on the day of release of this. It is the quarterfinals of the Champion of Renown tournament, which is going to be a bucket ton of fun at 7 PM GMT, so definitely stick around for that. Bucket ton of links in the description to my Patreon, to my Discord, where you can submit replays and get involved in tournaments and events, as well as to my Twitch channel. I actually did a stream today, which is kind of cool, over on Twitch, although I'm recording this a day in advance, so technically yesterday from when you hear this, I did some stuff on Twitch. It was a load of fun, so make sure to go check that out as well for additional content and streams. Well played once again to these lads. The High Elves were victorious, but they did not have much left whatsoever in the tank towards the end, apart from, of course, Tyrion fighting to the bitter end. The Mage of Light, I'm really interested to hear. I'm sure Phoenix King will watch this back, so let me know down below what was the thinking behind bringing the Light of Battle. Was it just a meme, or do you actually think it has utility? Maybe combined with Tyrion to ensure he gets that health proc when you need it most. As for the Spearmen, 750 value, 565, 800 damage value, and the others, 630 and 274. You can certainly see the ones which engage with the greatswords and which ones engage with the demigryphs. Some lovely pinning, trying to wipe out the demigryphs. I understand the Empire player keeping them in the fight, trying to assassinate Tyrion, and it very nearly paid off, but alas, it was not quite enough. As for the Rangers, they struggled. 665 value is really nice, but the other unit only 153 is a bit of a shame. 673 damage value on the white lines is nice, and the archers with light armor, something I very rarely see, 958 damage value and 933. Did the light armor make a difference? Probably not, but hey, it's extra swag points dripping in some of that Ulf 1 swag. You gotta respect it. So the helms did kind of get butchered, of course, being outclassed by the halberdiers. 220 damage value and 687. Bolt throws 750 and 658. Certainly not too shabby. As for the force of the Empire, Volkmar the Grim, he got kind of bent over, unfortunately, and spanked by Sunfang. Only 400 value on him, and you've got to be really careful with Volkmar when it comes to Tyrion, because Tyrion, once he gets a grip of him, good play though by the Empire player to actually drag him through the spearmen, then got trapped once again by the net, so it wasn't really his fault, got netted by the mage, and once Tyrion's on you, it's game over for sure. Only 25 value on the Jade Wizard, but some lovely regrowth. The Empire player did actually fantastic looking back on it, scrapping themselves back into the game after losing their lord really early on. Spearmen didn't do too much, they held the line for Sigma. The greatswords did really freaking amazing. 140 and 200 kills, 983 damage value and 1,175. I tip my top hat to you, gentlemen. Really lovely job then. Probably the MVPs for the Empire. So the bullets got 1.1k damage value, and the demigryphs at 1.3k, 1.3k, and 3,000 damage value. My god, these guys were roided up, so all the demigryphs actually performed really well here, but alas, it was not quite enough. The great cannon, 1.2k damage value, showing that, hey, even if your artillery is outnumbered, you still got a chance to punch back. In fact, it basically got, not quite, if you combine the bolt throws, it did fare, I think, slightly better than the great cannon, but not by much. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. That was a really good fun cast, actually, and a very awesome game. Until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.